Trump haters in Washington, D.C., who bashed President Donald Trump on tariffs, have a big reason to shut up after China made a shocking announcement. This is more winning that you don't want to miss. In an effort to avoid a trade war with the United States, China's Premier Li Keqiang announced on Monday, March 26, 2018, that his country pledges to ease access for American businesses. China's shocking announcement comes on the heels of the country receiving constant backlash from President Trump over the obscene trade deficit the U.S. has with China. Now, it looks like all the haters who told Trump he was wrong about being tough on trade are the ones who couldn't have been more wrong. According to Newsmax, Li made the announcement during a conference with global chief executives and emphasized that China would work to provide equal treatment to both foreign and domestic firms. In addition, Li promised that China would not force foreign firms to transfer technology to domestic entities and vowed to strengthen intellectual property rights. With regard to trade imbalances, China and the United States should adopt a pragmatic and rational attitude, promote balancing through expansion of trade, and stick to negotiations to resolve differences and friction, Li said during the conference. The announcement came a week after the United States sent a letter asking China to cut a tariff on U.S. automobiles, give U.S. firms more access to the Chinese financial sector, and buy more U.S. made semiconductors, according to the Wall Street Journal. Back at home, both Republicans and Democrats went into panic mode as a possible trade war between the U.S. and China loomed overhead. In recent weeks, financial markets experienced a static environment as investors anticipated a worst-case scenario should trade barriers go up after President Trump publicly rebuffed China for the trade deficit and urged China's leadership to reduce it by $100 billion. China's response to Trump is the last thing all the haters in the swamp wanted to hear. Obviously, the political elites in our government would rather see Trump fail and America continue to suffer tremendous financial consequences from bad negotiations for which they are to blame. The announcement from Li was completely unexpected after President Trump revealed his plan to place tariffs on Chinese goods in response to a POTUS inquiry which found that China is guilty of intellectual property theft and unfair trade. For years, China had been forcing U.S. investors to divulge trade secrets and technologies to Chinese firms for the privilege of doing business. Although the mainstream media in America and the state-run media in China have both fanned the flames of a trade war, it appears that officials from both sides are working quietly behind the scenes to resolve the massive imbalance in trade which has hurt our economy. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin reportedly called Liu He, who is the newly appointed Vice Premier and President Xi Jinping's top economic advisor, to express his gratitude toward China's willingness to compromise on trade. A spokesman for the U.S. Treasury confirmed the call but declined to comment on specific details. Secretary Mnuchin called Liu to congratulate him on the official announcement of his new role, the spokesman told Reuters. They also discussed the trade deficit between our two countries and committed to continuing the dialogue to find a mutually agreeable way to reduce it. In my opinion, President Donald Trump was the perfect man for the job. Our staggering trade deficit with countries such as China is a tremendous reason we wanted Trump in the White House to begin with. After 8 years of colossal foreign policy failure and financial ruin from former President Barack Obama, we needed a world-class businessman to take over and right the ship. That's exactly what we got.